Well, yeah, that happened. Hey guys, Divvy here with a new review for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. entitled The Team, a rather generic title for a very ungeneric episode that's had me smiling by the end because of how off guard it caught me by the end of it. Now, the episode picks up right where the last one left off, where Ward, along with Guerra, have captured a good chunk of the team via that jet, that shield jet that they managed to maneuver, and Lucio, the Medusa Inhuman that's able to turn people into stone pretty much with his eyesight, goes in with a group of soldiers to try to take this team in. And it is here where Daisy, along with Lincoln, decide to bring in said team, which is the Secret Warriors. They finally come back together again, and the first opening 10 minutes or so is basically this entire team infiltrating the place, the Hydra headquarters, and not only are they able to take back the team, but they're also able to extract Gideon Malik out of there and take him captive and hopefully interrogate him to gain some kind of information. And it's funny because for a split second I was thinking the same thing that Guerra was thinking, like, nothing was accomplished here. Like, the S.H.I.E.L.D. team, and including the Secret Warriors, came in. They performed their powers. We saw Yo-Yo taking out a couple of guys while Joey was able to melt the bullets and all that. That was cool. But nothing of significance happened. I'm like, okay, yeah, they took Malik, but what is this going to achieve for Hydra? But then Hive, as Ward, says, no, that's not entirely true. I got somebody on the inside. So I'm like, okay, Lucio, because it is here, within this whole mission, that Joey performs his first, I guess you could say, kill, where he takes out Lucio with like a piece of shard or whatever. He finally takes a life, and now Lucio is pretty much dead, and he's pretty much gone from the series, except while they're back at S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, we learn a couple of things. One, Hive might have infested, or infected, I should say. They keep saying the word infected, but I like to use infested because it's much more of a parasite. He infected somebody amongst these four that managed to come into contact or was within the vicinity of Hive within the past 24 hours. And pretty much during this entire second act of the episode, it pretty much turns into the S.H.I.E.L.D's version of the Thing, where they're trying to figure out who is actually being controlled here by a Hive. So the point where we even got a little civil war going on here between the heads of S.H.I.E.L.D, May, Coulson, Mac, all of the administrative sorts of S.H.I.E.L.D. versus anybody that's pretty much the Inhumans, and then they locked themselves in, and even Coulson points it out, if they're arguing, that means nobody has turned, and we pretty much have this little standoff where we got the team, the Inhuman team, the Secret Warriors, within one room, and everybody else trying to figure out what to do, whether or not to quarantine them or put them down or ice them, and in the other, while Fitz and Simmons are trying to not only confirm the infection via Lucio's autopsy, but also trying to figure out how to cure it. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and get some smooching going on. I mean, it was a tender moment, but I think some priorities need to be set here. Anyways, this was a genuinely exciting moment because it was actually tense for me to try to figure out which one of these characters was infected. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some that I'm a little bit more invested than the others, like Lincoln and Daisy, whereas Joey and Yo-Yo, particularly Yo-Yo, haven't had enough episodes for me to resonate with them. Should they be infected, and should we see any one of them go in the potential finale, especially with that vision looming of Yo-Yo's crucifix floating in the air, drops of blood, somebody's jacket, that kind of thing. But this episode is definitely a good step in the right direction, because seeing them as a team early on in the episode, it really showed me of what could become of them and how much I can grow to like these characters. And if we can have a little bit more of that in the remaining episodes that we had leading up to the two-part finale, then okay, maybe I can be emotionally invested so I can actually feel like anybody's up for grabs. Especially because of how this episode ends. Daisy tricks the Secret Warriors into a room with Coulson, and it is here where it's revealed that Lincoln was the one that was infected because it was his idea to go after the orb. All the signs were there. And so Lincoln raging out like that, it made sense. And this led up to what I thought was going to be the biggest disappointment of the episode. And to a certain extent, it still is. It's the one thing that I will mark this episode down for, is that after bringing together, as Daisy would put it, bringing the team back together uh, after so long bringing the Secret Warriors together, they get just as quickly disbanded after this whole thing with Hive potentially infecting one of them and causing them to take the Terrigen crystals as well as the orb from the inside, from the evidence lockers or whatever. It was I was about to rage out because I'm like, are you serious? You're going to disband this team just after getting them together again, and once again they're going to go their separate ways, and it was really frustrating me. It wasn't until, however, the twist, which is that Daisy, freaking Daisy, was the one that was infected. We cut to flashbacks. She was the one that got infected by Hive and was told to betray the team. And she was the one that actually ended up killing Gideon Malik on the inside after his little interrogation with Coulson and the discussion about faith, which I did find rather profound. Gideon Malik finally exits the show by having Daisy be the one to kill him with not only a vibration of his insides, but also then blowing his body out to cover up the evidence. And it was a humongous twist that really caught me off guard. I'm like, okay, cool. Out of all the other potential people that you could have offed instantly because of how at this point slightly expendable they could be, it was Daisy, the one that we've been with since season 1, was the one that was the man, or in this case woman, on the inside. And this also did another thing that I thought was pretty cool. Sorry, still trying to get over a cold. But the other thing that I thought was rather interesting and cool was the fact that Lincoln was made out to be a better character. He actually poured himself onto Daisy, saying, hey, we gotta keep this team together. I mean, I know I have a temper, but that's why I got so angry, because I knew I was innocent. So I'm like, okay, this actually does layer Lincoln a little bit more than what he's already been. I mean, we've had some characteristics to him about being an alcoholic, being in afterlife, all that sort of stuff. But this seemed to me spoke more than those previous things about him actually willing to stand for the team. And it wasn't just Daisy. Even after Daisy revealing herself that she was the one being controlled, he was like, Daisy, stop it, you're being controlled. And he is not willing to go with her. He's like, no, I'm not going to be a part of this. So I'm like, okay, cool, this really turns the tables. This really makes for an unexpected turn on Daisy's part, but it also makes a very compelling one for Lincoln. And so Daisy takes the Terrigen crystals, the orb. She uses her powers to incapacitate headquarters, and it is here where Coulson kind of realizes, without the need for words or security footage, that Daisy's the one. Because if the place starts to shake, it's very obvious that Daisy was the one infected, and she destroys the place. I don't know if it's completely totaled, and I am having a little tough time buying the possibility of Daisy being able to like I said, incapacitate the headquarters, given the extent of her powers, because I don't think we've ever seen her use her powers to this type of scope. But I'll buy it for now because of how effective this twist ending was. And it just seeing the whole place shake down, and Coulson trying to fight his way through that door only for him not to be able to get to it, was really powerful, and it left me with my mouth open. And that was a great way to end this episode. And here's the thing, is that even though I am still frustrated with the fact that they disband the Secret Warriors team, this could make for a reason for Coulson to reband them immediately in the next episode, now confirming that Daisy's the one infected, so the other people should be good. And he's like, you know what, I have to take extreme measures. Come on, guys, you're back on the field, and hopefully we can see these guys in action once more. So a very satisfying episode of S.H.I.E.L.D., just not satisfying enough for it to be a Secret Warrior specific episode, but I'm hoping that's yet to come by the season's end. So for that, I give the team a very, very low 9 out of 10. A very standout episode that had me very astonished by what decision they made towards the end, and how meaningful that was for characters involved, as well as the story and what is to come in the remaining episodes leading up to the finale. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I'll see you guys next time.